Hi folks, we're getting into the meat of the Tour de France, so I thought this would be a good chance to explain the basics of how team tactics work, answer some questions you guys might have. Bike racing looks simple. Of course, the first guy across the line wins, but it's a little bit more complicated than that, and if you're watching on TV, you might just be getting confused. Why is this guy doing that? Why is that team doing this? So I'll give you a little rundown here to make it make more sense to you. The first thing you probably already know, drafting, it works. The guy in the very front, he might be pulling as hard as he can, he's pushing in the wind. The guy right behind him is probably doing like 20 to 30% less. Then you get that big protective bubble, kind of a mushroom from the front. The guy 10 guys behind with people all around, he could be doing 20% as much as the guy at the front. Night and day. So race tactics for an individual or for a team all boils down to who's on the front and why. And for that to make sense, what you have to think about is who has the most to gain and who has the most to lose. Let's illustrate this with a hypothetical. Let's say that Jonas Vingegaard goes off the front, gets a 5-minute lead by himself. Who has the most to lose in that scenario? Obviously Tadej and his team. If Vingegaard wins, Tadej loses the yellow jersey. So it would be his team's responsibility to go to the front of the pack and bring Jonas back. Whatever team has the GC lead, in general, that responsibility is going to usually shoulder to them by default. Now what flips that script is if somebody else has more to gain. Obvious example there would be a sprint stage. So let's say the breakaway is 4 guys who are all half an hour down on GC. Emirates knows that they're not going to lose GC. They're in no threat to lose the overall, so it's also not their responsibility to ride on the front. The responsibility in that case would be whoever thinks they have the best sprinter in the race, or more importantly, whoever the rest of the field thinks has the best sprinter in the race. So if it's a flat day and I have Jasper Philipsen on my team, well, I'm going to send all my guys to the front to make sure that he has a chance to win that sprint. In that scenario, Alpecin Deceuninck has the most to lose. Now we're a little bit of a ways into the Tour, and it's shown that Biniam Girmay might be the best sprinter. He might be faster than Jasper Philipsen. So if I'm Alpecin Deceuninck and there's a big breakaway up the road, I might be like, well, why should I pull? I pulled the last 2 times and your guy won. It's your team's turn to pull. You have the most to lose. You have a stage win on the line, and we have, probably a second place. What could also happen is a quick phone call from the 2 DSs like, hey, you send 3 guys to the front, we'll send 3 guys to the front, we'll share the gamble. So anything you see going on in the bike race, just apply that same most to lose, most to gain logic. That's the battle that's going on. It happens with the team collectively, and it also happens within the breakaway. Say the breakaway is 4 guys. There's a Trek, an Intermarché, a Cofidis, and an Alpecin Deceuninck. If I'm the rider in that breakaway in Alpecin Deceuninck, I don't have to pull as hard as the other 3 because I know that if the breakaway gets caught, my team still has a great chance of winning. To the other 3 teams in the break, they might be thinking, well, second place is still pretty good. But to me, if I'm on Alpecin, I'm not going to help you pull. I'm not going to help this breakaway stay clear so that I can come third when if the breakaway gets caught, my teammate's likely to win. When you see someone who might be sitting on the breakaway not taking their pulls, one version could be they're tired and they can't do it. More likely, they're just playing that tactic, not because it's dirty, it's because they've earned the right to. You might also ask, why be in the breakaway at all? They're just doomed to get caught. Now, the main reason, of course, is that sometimes the breakaway stays away and you might win the stage. But more often, the main reason to do it is that it takes responsibility off of your team to chase. If your team has a guy in the breakaway, that means that they have no responsibility to pull on the front to chase that down. No one wants to chase down their own teammate. So in the very beginning, when the breakaway is being established, there's attacks going, there's people coming back. The way that usually works, in the team meeting, the leading team, the sprinters teams, whoever might be in a situation to control the race, to be expected to control the race, team meeting might say, okay, let 4 guys go up the road and nobody from Alpecin. Or if I was on Alpecin, I would say whoever could be in the break they want, but nobody from Intermarché. That would entitle their whole team to have a free ride to sit in that draft while our team has a responsibility. So the GC, the stage win, and all the little prizes, all the jerseys, that makes up the chess game of who has the most to lose, who has the most to win, and why folks are on the front, why folks are in the breakaway. All right, hope this simplifies the Tour de France for you a little bit. See you next time.